Do we need to write our answers, teacher?
You can just tell me if you want.
Okay. The three things, the three steps to prepare the problem solution speech is give a clear problem, the solution, and the results.
Problem, solutions, and the results of the solutions. Yes. Okay. And what is the other thing that you need to have in your speech presentation?
I don't know.
Visual aids. Some visual aid. Now, if you don't want to use PowerPoint, that's okay. You can just have maybe some pictures you can show, or you can have a Word document. I don't really care what you do, as long as it's something we can see and it relates to your speech. It helps us to kind of follow what you're saying in your speech. Okay. I'm just typing here what Alan said, so we've got that. So, essential aspects of this speech problem, some solutions and the results of those solutions. And we want you to include visual, something that we can see. So we were talking a moment ago about PowerPoint. So again, for those of you who are watching this video later, I want you to know that on your main Blackboard page, on the right side, if you scroll down, you should be able to see where it says Free Microsoft Office 365. And you can click on that. So everybody should be able to get PowerPoint and Word for free today if you haven't gotten it yet. Okay, and so back at the top of the page, the steps to preparing a speech. You want to plan your ideas, of course, organize your ideas, then gather the visual. And for Go React, if you guys want to put your speech in Go React, they only allow a PDF file. So you'll have to convert your PowerPoint slides into PDF. It's really easy. All you need to do is click on the top menu on your PowerPoint and then click on export, and then it will say PDF. Okay, if anybody needs help doing that, I can show you in a video, or I can show you at the end of class. So the steps to preparing it: plan, then gather the visual things that you need, and then practice speaking while you're using the visuals. Okay? So it requires a little bit of effort because you have to talk at the same time you're clicking on your slides to move to the next visual. So sometimes it can be challenging. Okay. Does anybody need help in any aspect of the speech so far? Anything that you need help putting together, or because I want you to be successful. I don't want you to get stuck on something and then miss the opportunity.
Yes, teacher. I started to like work with my speech yesterday, and
Yes.
I have a question. Like, how long can the explanation for the problem be? Like, can I spend
Mm.
1 minute explaining my problem, or what should be the correct to take?
Yeah, well, I guess if you have kind of a complicated problem, or if it's a type of problem that you know something about, but maybe you think a lot of people don't know about, like we don't have any
Yeah.
reference for that
Mhm.
problem, yes, go ahead and take a full minute if you need to explain it. That's a good question. So anything that you think, you know what, I don't think the class will know what I'm talking about. Yeah, take your time to explain that, because if we don't understand the problem, then the rest of the speech won't even really be that valid or good for us because we don't have a clear reference. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're that's a good point. Make sure that your problem is clear and that we know what it is. I chose a very easy problem. Did you guys watch my video and go react about the dogs? Did you guys see that video?
No, teacher, no yet.
Oh, okay. It's in, I think it's in week, or it's in the practice. What is it? Is it the explore? I think it's in the explore uh, video section where you can go in and just kind of play around with it. You don't have to record anything. I think I put it in there. I don't remember where I put it, but I had a short
Okay.
video, and my problem was too many dogs, too many dogs in my neighborhood. And I picked something that most people would probably know a little bit about because we've all seen stray dogs. But if your problem is something very specific that you know about and not a lot of other people know about, then yeah, take your time. It's okay
Um,
with me to take that time. Okay?
okay, thank you.
Okay, good question. Are there any other problems or obstacles that you have faced in trying to get ready for this speech? Anything that I can help you with?
Teacher, how many visuals are okay?
Like for PowerPoint, how many
Yeah,
slides?
yeah.
I would say I put a note about this in the lesson folder. I think I said 7.
Okay, okay, teacher.
Yeah, I think that's what I said. I can't remember exactly, but that's a pretty good number. 5 or 6 slides is good. You don't want to. Let me turn my video on since I'm talking so much. You don't want to just click through slides like every 30 seconds. Like, click, okay, guys, today I'm going to talk about click. I mean, it doesn't give people a chance to think about what you're actually saying and what the visual is. So let's say you're giving a 5-minute speech or a 4-minute speech, and you have one slide for every maybe 45 seconds to a minute. So that's about 4 or 5 or 6 slides.
Okay.
And it's okay to have 3. I'm not going to. Actually, this is not even for a grade, so there's no points to count off. This is just a really fun way to practice something without feeling the pressure of having a grade. You guys have done really good with the practice speeches so far. So that's why I'm adding this extra challenging element to it. So I'm sure you guys will do great. Okay, anything else? Hey, good morning, Lan. I noticed you joined us. Yes, Alan, do you have a question or are you good?
No, teacher, I'm good.
Okay. Hey, Lan, do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, good. So why don't we get started in our book? We need to check the homework. I assigned page 75 and 76. So let's look over there and then we'll do listening activity. Does anybody want to give your speech today? That is an option if you're ready. Anybody want to do it today? in this collaborate video? Or actually, Carolina and Alan, you already said. So, Lun, are you going to do your video in class or, I mean, your speech in class or in Go React?
I want to do in class, but not today because yes, I'm sick all week and I'm not ready yet. Better, I'm fine now. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so you just need some extra time. No problem. So on Wednesday, you can do yours. Wednesday will be a very short lesson anyways, so we can just do the video or do the
Yes.
speech. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, guys, so page 75, if you remember last week, we talked about giving recommendations or it's another way to say that, the solutions. And we talked about how to create sentences. If you guys remember, I showed you examples with I think people should. And I went through several examples in my PowerPoint in my last lesson. So those are some of the ideas there on the in the orange box on page 75. And I wanted you guys to do the listening part and listening about the problems of eating while driving. Okay, so and if you had problems with that audio, then you can go back to the back of your book on page 203. 203. In the back of your book, 203, on the right side of the page. It's audio 3.8, and it's a little speech about two people's opinions about driving while eating. So one person says, hey, it's not a big deal, to eat and drive. But the other person says, no, it's very dangerous. And they even suggested the police give the drivers points on their license. If the driver has a lot of points, the police should take their car away for a few months. Oh my gosh, this is so funny to me. I'm like, okay, so yeah, that's not going to work very well. You're going to see a lot of protesting in the street if if you take away people's freedom to eat in their car. It was bad enough when they said a few years ago they started making the laws about no texting while driving, and in Arlington, I think it was maybe 5 or 10 years ago, they had this law that you couldn't use your phone. You couldn't have your phone in your hands at all. It had to be like Bluetooth or, earpiece or something. And I just remember because I used to go to the University of Texas at Arlington. So every time I drive to Arlington, I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm in Arlington, put my phone away. So as soon as I left Arlington, I was like, I don't care. I use my phone if I need to at a stoplight. I don't think they have law anymore. I don't know. But anyways, back to the point here. What do you guys think about the people's opinions? What's your opinion about the driving and eating? Anybody want to share your opinion?
Teacher, I think it's bad because it's a big distraction, like eating and driving.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you think it's bad, and where are you on the scale of how bad? Like some people might say, like this person, one person in this audio track, they said the police should take away your car if you eat in your car too much, or you're caught, several times. Do you think that, or do you think maybe, yeah, we should just try to avoid it, but it shouldn't be illegal? I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, try to avoid it.
Okay. Okay, good point. Has anybody ever gotten close to getting in a car accident, or just noticed for yourself when you eat in the car that you have a hard time driving? Has that happened to anybody?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have an accident, but
Hmm.
I realized that it's like it's kind of difficult being driving and eating at the same time.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. It requires you to, obviously you have to use your hands unless you have a machine that can feed you in your car. Um, and our hands are the most important thing. Our hands and our feet, right? When driving. So, okay. Any other opinions? Any ideas?
I have an idea like Alan, because when we driving on the freeways, that's dangerous for us and for everybody else. Yes, but we can drink some water. It's okay, not bad. But
Yeah.
eating and driving is dangerous.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. Certain places and parts of the street or the city might be okay or safer to eat and
Yeah.
drive. Um, but highways, yeah, that's scary. And then also, I don't know if this has happened to you, but I'm eating and I spill something. I just want to jump up and clean my pants or my
Yeah.
shirt. I'm like,
Yep.
oh my,
Yep.
and I can't clean it, and I had to drive. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's the hard part when you spill something and then you're like in my hamburger,
Yeah.
and you have to resist that urge to just like try to clean up, and you have to focus on driving. So
Yep.
yeah, I agree. Okay, good guys. Let's go to part 2 on page 75 and look at the excerpts. It says underline the phrases that introduce a recommendation or proposal. So let me see what you guys underlined. Alan, can you do number 2?
Excuse me, teacher, is what page number?
Yes,
We're on page 75, exercise 2.
Yeah.
I underlined, I think it will be better if.
Okay, good. I think it would be better if. Yes. Do you notice that almost all of these use would, right? Would. That is one way to introduce a solution, because we're talking about the future and this is like a conditional. I think it would be better if, right? We've got the if and the would in the same sentence. Okay, those are kind of like a pair. They go together. So good. For number 2, I think it would be better if. And then number 3 is so easy, right? It's almost the same. I think it would be much better if. Okay, that's number 3. And Carolina, what about number 4?
The best thing will be.
Yes, the best thing would be. Okay, really quickly, as you're kind of processing this information, take a look at the sentence structure in these examples. Okay, number 2 and 3, after if, what do we have? Do we have an adjective? Do we have a verb? What is the structure after if? You guys notice the sentence structure here. What is the
A
word form?
subject.
Subject. They is a subject. And then in number 3, it says if drivers
Drivers.
is a subject. And then after the subject, what do we have?
Verbs.
Verb.
Yeah.
Conjugated verb. And make note of this too. The verbs are in the past tense.
Yeah. Past.
Okay.
Yeah.
That might seem a little bit strange because we're in the future, right? Solutions for the future. I think, right? That's in the present. It would be better. Would be is talking about a conditional for future. And then we have, after if, we have a subject and a past. Did anybody notice that's a little bit confusing? Was that confusing to anybody? You guys are like, yeah, this is easy.
No.
Oh, okay. Grammar people here then. Well, a lot of students mess up on this point. So I wanted you to notice that. We've got a subject and a past verb. Number 4, the best thing would be, and then we have an infinitive, to have. If you want to use this in your speech, you could say the best thing would be to do something. You can use any base form verb after the to, okay? This one is using to have, and then cameras on the roads to record subject and verb after to have. Okay, the more cameras on the roads to record, that is not a subject and verb. So it's a little bit different sentence structure there. Let's go to number 5. Lan, do you have number 5?
Yes. Give the drivers points. Give the
Okay,
drivers.
that's the actual suggestion, yes. But how do they introduce the suggestion? Like before that, what is the introduction phrase? It's from the orange box. If you look in the yeah.
After something happened that's not good, and then the people suggest the police give the drivers points. I think so.
Points. Yes, and Lon, you are correct. But let's look in the sentence. In sentence number 5, they introduce the solution. They used I'd suggest that. So we want to underline that. I'd suggest the first 3 words. Those are the same words that are in the orange box. If you look, you'll see it says I'd suggest that in the orange box. And these are called introduction. Wait, what did I say? Introduction phrases. Okay, so that's what is the introduction phrase. And if you look at my red arrow on the screen, it says here what the answers are. to page 75. Okay, guys. Any questions about that?
No question.
No, teacher.
Okay, we're moving along. On the next exercise 3 on page 76. So letter A, number 3. Letter A goes with number 3. So what they're doing is they're linking 2 to exercise 3. They're putting the letters with the numbers. So A is 3. Put for B, Alan, where it says personally I eat.
For letter B, I put number 1.
Yes, that's correct. Number 1. So A is 3, B 1, and C is going to be number 5. And letter D will be number 2. Okay. Any questions there? This part on the screen, exercise 3.
No, teacher, not me.
Everybody good? Okay, so here's what I want us to do for practice. I want you to pick a, let's take this problem of eating, driving, and I want you to practice using one of the words or phrases from page 75. And I want you to give a recommendation solution, and then I want you to give a result, or let's try to put it together in like a short example. So for example, eating while driving is a big problem. It would be better if people only drank, I shouldn't say drank, because we think of drinking as like drinking alcohol. People should drink and drive only, not eat. No, I can't say drink and drive because we always think alcohol. So eating while driving is a big problem. So I think it would be better if people did not eat, only drank sodas and water while driving. I don't know, something like that, right? So I'm just practicing speaking and using these. And I could say, if people follow my mission, there would be fewer accidents, distracted drivers. Okay, did y'all hear me? Little problem, solution, and result. So I want us to practice a little bit. Anybody want to try next? You can own your own phrase to use from the orange box. We're talking about eating is a problem.
Well, let me try. The best thing would be if we just avoid eat, to eat and drink, or I need to put it like in gerund. If we
Put a
avoid,
gerund. I was just about to say that.
okay. The best thing would be if we avoid drinking and eating in the car. Allow will work.
Okay. So the best thing would be if we could, you said if we could avoid.
If we could avoid drinking and
Okay, I like that.
while we are driving.
Yeah, if we could avoid drinking in the car or eating and drinking while we are driving.
Yes.
Okay, I like it. So what you used there, Alan, you used the verb avoid. For avoid, we need to have a verb with ing. So avoid eating, avoid drinking. Yes. And then can you add a result? What's the result of that if we follow your advice?
Okay. Then we would be like safe on the road.
Yeah, then we will be safe on the road. Yeah. Okay. And I know this is challenging because we're not writing down everything we're saying and we're not reading what we're saying. So for those of you listening, you have to catch the words. We don't see the words. But this is all really good practice for you guys. That's why you're in this class, right? I want you to process things with your thoughts and then your speech and your listening and your thoughts. We don't always get to see typed out or written down. So this is good, very good practice. Who wants to go next? Use any of the phrases from the orange box talking about eating while driving.
Teacher.
Okay.
Mm, in my opinion, we should eat in a safe place where there's no risk of an accident.
Okay.
Mm, um, the reason for this is because you're going to eat more calm and you're going to be
Okay, you said as a result of this, you're going to be what?
to eat more calm. You're
Oh,
going
okay.
to be safe.
So you're going to eat more, and because action verb and we're describing it, we want to use eat more calmly. We're using an adverb to
Okay.
describe how you eat. You eat more calmly and more safely.
Okay.
Okay, that sounds great. I'm just making a quick note. Notice that she used should and then she put a base form verb. So we do not use to, like you should to drive or you should not to drink. So we have just the base form verb after should. Should eat, should drink, or should not eat. Okay, that's good. Do you want to try one?
Yes, I su- I suggest that we should eat before we drive.
Okay.
Yeah. Because when we driving, we just focus to drive, and because I I sometimes rush, and I know that I eating while I driving is dangerous. If I hold that, I don't have the hand for control the wheel,
Right.
and down I put the foot down and try and test that made me like don't forget, don't forget with why I'm driving.
We won't focus on the road, or we
Yeah,
can't
I won't.
focus.
Yeah, we can't forget on the road, and and I think that we just stop eating while we driving. That I think that prevent the accident. The accident. I think so.
Okay, well, that was a mini speech there. A full minute. That's good, Lon. Okay, good. So you got your point across. That's good. The only thing I would change is you used I suggest that we should. And if we're already using suggest, we don't need to use should because they have the same function. They're both giving opinion or recommendation. So you can say, I suggest that we eat before we drive, or I think we should eat before we drive.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so just pick one or the other. Yeah. Okay. Good practice there, guys. Any questions about that? Okay, so why don't we do this? We've got a few minutes. I'm going to get you guys started on your last listening activity of this chapter. If you remember that next week we're going to start, and chapter 4 is our last chapter for this class, okay? So I can't believe it. After this week, we only have 3 weeks left class. So it's coming quickly. So why don't we look at the 8 where it says setting smart goals. And we have a little speech here we're going to listen to. It's about setting goals as students. So let's do the discussion part, and then you guys do the listening for homework. But look where it says preparing to listen. It says, number 1, you're going to listen to a lecture about SMART goals. If you notice, the SMART is all capitalized. Why? Why is it all capital? SMART.
Maybe this how do you say that? Like each word means something?
Yes. When you see all capital letters, it's called an acronym. An
Yeah, I want
acronym is,
acronym.
yeah. In my writing class, do you remember an acronym with the compound sentences? We talked one. I gave you guys an acronym to help you remember
Oh, yeah,
coordinating.
convoy.
Yeah. So acronym is when you have letters and it stands for represents a word. So like for this example, the F represents for, the A represents and so on. The B is for, oh, what did I do? Yeah, yeah, the N is for nor, the B is for but, and so on. So you guys are going to listen to what those letters mean. The S is supposed to represent a word, the M, the A, the R, and the T. Okay, so why don't we do this first though? Look in the box at the top of page 78, and I want you to circle 3 goals that you have right now. Things that you want to do or your future. And you might even want to circle all of these, right? It's hard for me to pick just two, three. I definitely want to speak English well right now. What do you guys think about my English? Is it good?
It's perfect.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
good. You're good.
Awesome. Compliment. I'm just kidding. Maybe I should put finish well. Oh, yeah, that's a goal. Okay, so tell me what you think is maybe your most important goal that you circled. Who wants to tell me?
I want to speak English well.
Okay. All right. Alan or Carolina, do you want to share what is your most important goal?
I put graduate on time. I mean, I already
Mhm.
took 1 year and a half with these classes, but
Yeah,
I don't want to spend a lot of time with this.
right. Yes. Waste time. Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
waste time, but yeah, I need to hurry up to
yeah.
yeah.
Hurry up and get this English out of the way. Yeah. Okay. And Carolina, do you want to share one of yours?
Mm, speak English well.
Okay. Good. Okay, so why don't we do I'm going to turn off my video and I want you guys to take about 3 or 4 minutes and discuss number 2 and then number 3. If you look, it says work with a partner, compare your goals, discuss the questions. Why is that goal important to you? And Alan, you already shared about yours. Um, but why is it important to you? What other goals do you have? And then what does each word in the box mean? So we've got remember I talked about the SMART acronym, SMART. So we've got specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound. And you're going to talk about what do you think those words mean? Like, what does achievable mean? Is achievable? What does that mean? If my goal is relevant, what does that mean? So let's take a few minutes and do this discussion. We've got 4 questions here. Okay, so I'll give you guys a few minutes and then I'll come back and
Yes.
go ahead.
So, Lan, do you want to share with us why is each goal important to you?
Yes. Um, I really want to speak English well because I have many things to talk with people. They want to learn about Buddha teaching. I live in the temple, and I know that many people, American people, come and ask, and they ask about here have the meditation class, and they ask about what Buddha teaching, but I I couldn't tell with them how to meditation or when we meditation what we talk when while we meditate uh, what we thinking when we meditate what we think so and they ask many questions but I have the skill about Buddha teaching and I have skill about practice and I know how to live happy life but I still could could not share with them that that made me very try to speak every day I don't care too much about graduated on time, and I don't care too much about get a job because I don't go job, I don't work, but my focus is speak English well. I hope it's coming soon in couple years. I hope so. Yeah. And how about you, Carolina?
Man, that's so interesting. Um, my goal is speak English well too because I already have my bachelor degree, but
Oh.
if I want to find a job here, I
Mm-hmm.
of course I have to speak well.
Yeah. You have the bachelor degree in your country, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just go get job, right? Go get a good job.
I hope so.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope so. I hope so too. And your voice very good. You just
Thank you.
read it more. I think so. Yeah.
Oh,
You
you
will be
too.
speak very well. Not far.
You too.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Alan, what other goals do you have?
Well, I also have a goal, speak English well.
Hmm.
Um, well, I think it is important because, well, as I mentioned before, I want to graduate on time, and well, speaking English is important to if I wanna get graduate because
Hmm.
well, I need to speak English to can attend to credit classes. And yes, that's it. Speak English well, and I hope it comes in a few months.
Yeah. You are Alan.
Yes,
No.
you are, Alan.
Sorry. I think you smart, Alan. Yes, I think both you very smart.
Thank you.
We all
And
here are smart.
Yes. Mm, it's the exercise number 3 too, right?
yeah,
Yes,
and I want to know it's the firewood in the boss. Some word I don't understand what is that.
I I don't know what the like the last word means time bound. Do some of you know what it means?
No,
Which, which one?
tempo.
On
Oh,
the third yeah, time bound.
no.
Mm. And I also have like achievable. It's the correct answer for the third achievable. What do you think?
I think it's achievable. It that the goal you have, you achieve your goal.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm not sure. Let me.
Y'all are doing great. I've been listening the whole time. Keep going. See if you can get a definition, your own definition of any of those words in the box.
Okay, well, the word specific could apply with this acronym because we need to being very specific on what we want and what are we going to what yeah like what are we looking for. And I think that word isn't the acronym for that reason. Like we need to be very specific on what we want and what we are looking for.
Yeah. Mm.
Okay, good. So, Alan, what does specific mean to you? Like you said,
Like
we need it to be specific, but what does it mean?
like one way to be direct, have a like how can I explain it? Like being focused on I think like
Okay,
do not look around anything more than your goal.
that's yeah.
No, that's kind of direct, right? I think. But
Yeah, that would
specific.
be like focused. Mhm.
Well, I know what it can't explain to you what it is.
Well, when we think of a reading class that we did together over the summer, remember we talked about specific and general, specific information and general information. Those are opposite,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like a detailed teacher.
Yeah. Something that's that is I guess you could say focused in one thing. Um, like let's say for example, I want to take a vacation. That's my goal. Take a vacation. A specific thing that I need to do would be to pack my clothes. That would be a specific part, thing that I need to do in the taking a vacation, right? So something that's specific is detailed, not general, it's not vague or unclear. It's very focused on a part of something. So, by the way, I mean, you guys will do the listening part and you'll see that they say all of these five things here are important when you're making goals. So, all of these are going to be important. You need to have a goal that is specific. You don't, basically, what you want to have a goal that's like, I want to be a millionaire because that's not enough on something that you can actually do. Maybe that would be more like achievable. Well, it can be achievable, but they want you to focus a little bit more on something specific, like I want to become a manager in the next 5 years. That would be specific. But if you just say, I want to be a millionaire, so like for you, Alan, you even said, let's say I want to finish all my English classes by of 2021. That would be a specific goal. Do you know when you want to finish, by the way? The time? Alan, are you there?
Yes, teacher, I'm here.
Do you know specifically when you want to finish your ESOL classes?
Well, I really want to continue taking ESOL classes while I am taking credit classes, like to stop with ESOL classes, because I'll never end to learn English, you know. But
But yeah, but your ESOL classes are going to finish. They're going to be over at some point, right? 2 or 3 years from now, you're not going to be taking ES.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, you could
I
probably
don't
finish.
know.
I think you could finish by August of next year.
I hope that.
Yeah, I think that's specific and it's achievable. Okay, an example, something that's focused and specific. It has like a date, like by next year or in the next 3 years. That would make it more specific. Oh, actually, you know what? I think that's measurable. Measurable means that you can when it's over, when it's accomplished. You can measure it with time. It's kind of hard to put this in words, though. Um, I don't even know how to say it in words. Anybody have an idea about measurable, how we could say that?
Teacher, is the same mean with measure? I don't know. Able there for what? I know that measure, right?
Measure, yeah. Like
Yeah,
like you can measure how tall you are.
yeah. And measurable is same mean, right?
Yeah.
Like
But
appreciable. I don't know the pronunciation of that word,
it's
but
appreciable.
appreciable. Yeah,
Something,
it's something like that, or not?
I don't know what that word is. Maybe you can write it, check the
Yeah,
spelling. Able to be, um, oh man, I'm looking in Google.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
You
I know,
know?
teacher. Like measure, I know it's mean measures. And able, it mean you like you can do it, you can have it. It's at able, right? I like I'm able to do that.
Yeah, that's kind of achievable though, if you can. I know these are kind of challenging. Y'all just need to watch the video or listen to this. They'll probably we're gonna have to talk about this more on Wednesday. I'm getting stuck here. Well, Alan,
appreciable. Okay.
what is that? Is that a translation from Spanish? Do you have a word like that? Apreciable
Yeah,
or
yeah, apreciable.
my students come out with these words and they're like, yeah, don't you have this in English? Um, we have like appreciate, which means to like or to admire something, but appreciable as the adjective, mm, I don't think so. Well, I'm looking it up in Google. It does say it says large or important enough to be noticed. Maybe it is the word, but I've never used it before. But in any appreciable is not a word for measurable. So we're going to delete that. Be another kind of meaning. Okay, so means you have the ability to accomplish it. You have like it can be accomplished is what achievable means. Let's say, for example, um, this is crazy, but I'm trying to show you an example. Let's say one of my goals is to become a high school student. Is that an achievable goal? A high school student?
Yes.
No, not for me.
Oh,
I am 38 years old. If I try to go to high school, they will say no. You may not. attend school. You are too old. So that is a goal that's not achievable because there's no way, there's no possibility to actually accomplish that. I will never be a high school again. I could be a teacher, but I could not be a student. So when we make goals, they have to be something that's actually possible. Like another example for you guys, let's say you say, well, my goal is to become the president of the United States. Is that achievable for
No.
you? Actually,
Yes,
no,
it
because
is.
you were not born in this country.
Mhm.
That's the only not achievable. It's not because you're not smart enough or whatever. No, I could become the president. Anybody could become the president. It is actually achievable, except you guys were not, well, except for Alan, but you guys were not born in the United States. And that's one of the laws of in the United States. I think it's the Constitution. You have to be born on this soil. Okay. Even if you're a citizen, you become a citizen later, you will still not be able to be the president. You remember when President Obama became the president and some people, oh, he wasn't born here. He was born in Africa or whatever. The reason they said that was because if they could prove that he wasn't actually born here, then there would be no chance for him to be the president. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yes, teacher.
It's
Yes,
just one
teacher.
of the laws in our country. But if you want to become a representative in the House of Representatives, you guys, that is possible. You don't have to be born in this country to be a representative and serve in Congress. So, free U.S. government lesson there. Uh, okay, let's keep going. We're almost out of time. Relevant. When I think of relevant, I think of another R word. Relevant means related to something. Now, when I say related to, I'm not talking about my cousin, parents, my sisters, not that related. I'm talking about information related, topic related. Okay, so goals have to be focused on what you're trying to accomplish. Like you have the big goals and you have the smaller goals, and they need to be connected, basically. So think of related to something or connected to something. Okay. And then let's go to time bound. You guys were pronouncing this one kind of like, how did you say it? Time bound or something? I don't know. Anyways, it's time
Bound.
bound. Bound means
Bound. Yes.
what does it mean to bind something or something is bound? If I say, maybe you haven't heard this word because it's not very common. Let's say I have a dog and I put a collar on my dog and I put a leash on my dog and then I bound the leash to a tree. I bound the leash to a tree. Present tense would be I bind. Basically, it means to tie something tight so it's like it stays together. So I would tie the leash on a tree so my dog could not get away.
Like a connection.
Well, it's like a connection, but it's a restriction. It's like when you bind something, bind is the basic form verb. It means to tie together.
Okay, yeah, like, yeah, I got it.
That means to bind. But it's not very, usually we just use the word tie. Like I tied my dog to the tree. But a synonym for tie is bind. So time bound is an adjective and it means it's restricted to time. It was like the time is tied. It's it can't just be as long, forever and ever go on. It's got to be restricted. So for yours, Alan, I keep going back to your example because you shared it. I want to finish my English classes before 2022. So that would be time bound. It's restricted to this year and next year, but that's it. Okay. Class is time bound, right? We cannot continue this class for another 3 or 4 months. This class will end in November. Bound. Okay?
Yeah.
Any questions about these words, guys?
No
No, teacher,
question.
not to
No,
me.
teacher.
Okay. So I'm really, really preparing you for this activity. It will be so easy now because we already talked about the meaning of on page 78, your homework is going to be prepare speeches. Prepare and give your speeches. Okay, you have any time today, tomorrow, actually from let's say Monday. So you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday to do your speech. Okay, and then I want you to finish page 78. And I want you to do it's exercise. Read the questions and write one of it. That's a good one. Let's just do exercise or exercises 4, 5, 6, 7 is good. Let me see. You guys, if you want, you can circle exercise 4. It says while listening, exercise 4, exercise 5. We can do 5 in class because you have to compare notes with a person. But you can do the practice exercise 6 on page 79. And really, that's all you need to do. You can write down 2 of your own goals and kind of be ready to explain how they are measurable, how they are relevant, and so on. This is just a little extra activity. It's not the most important thing, but if you would like to, you can continue on with this study. So I'll just say do the listening, page 78, and then write 1 or 2 of your own goals. And make sure that they are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And we can share those on Thursday. I mean, I said Thursday. It's Wednesday. Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe it's already Monday. I still feel like I'm in the weekend. I don't know what I'm doing right now. So that's the homework.
Are you tired? teacher?
Actually, I don't really feel that tired, but I'm just kind of like, maybe because I'm just home all the time, you know? I feel like it's vacation. I mean,
Oh,
I haven't gone to work in more than 6 months,
oh,
you know,
oh.
so life
Yeah.
is just so different now. Not,
But sometimes you go somewhere to buy or to visit some